In the second year of his reign, King Nebuchadnezzar had a dream that troubled him deeply. His mind was restless and he could not find sleep. The king felt a strange fear rising in his heart, though he could not recall the details of the dream. Frustrated and anxious, he summoned all the magicians, enchanters, sorcerers, and astrologers of Babylon. He demanded they not only tell him the meaning of the dream, but also tell him the dream itself. These wise men stood before the powerful king, trembling because they knew how serious his demand was. None of the king's wise men could meet his demand. They said it was impossible to tell the king his dream without first knowing what it was. This angered Nebuchadnezzar. His fear turned into rage. He issued a harsh decree that all the wise men of Babylon must be killed if they could not reveal both the dream and its meaning. The kingdom was suddenly filled with tension. The very lives of the magicians and wise men were at risk. Among those in danger were Daniel and his 3 friends, young men known for their wisdom and faith. Daniel learned about the king's decree and faced a terrifying choice. If he and his friends could not provide answers to the king's mystery, they would lose their lives. Instead of panicking, Daniel approached the king's captain with wisdom and asked why such a severe order had been given. After hearing the details, Daniel asked for time to find a way to interpret the dream and its meaning. The captain took Daniel's request to the king, hoping it might save some of the wise men. Daniel went straight to his friends, and together they prayed earnestly all night, asking God for mercy and revelation. They knew that only God could reveal the secret hidden deep in the king's troubled mind. Their prayer was one of hope mixed with urgent fear. Daniel trusted that God would answer, but the night was full of anxious waiting. This act of faith marked the turning point between despair and salvation. That very night, God revealed to Daniel the mystery of the king's dream. Daniel understood both the vision and its meaning clearly. With a heart full of gratitude, he praised God for his wisdom and strength. The relief was immense. Daniel now held the key not only to survive, but to bring a message of hope to the king whose fear ruled the land. The next day, armed with divine knowledge, Daniel prepared to stand before the great king. When Daniel presented himself to Nebuchadnezzar, he assured the king that no human wisdom unlocked the secret. Instead, it was the God of heaven who had revealed what was hidden. Daniel then described the dream, a colossal statue with different parts made of various metals. As he spoke, he could see the king's eyes widen with amazement and dread. The stage was set for a revelation that would change the course of history, weaving together prophecy, conquest, and a hope beyond all earthly kingdoms. The king's terrifying dream was about to unfold in a way no one had imagined. Daniel heard the news of the king's deadly order, and his heart did not panic right away. He knew the danger touched him and his 3 close friends too. They were young exiles from Judah, taken to Babylon against their will. Daniel spoke calmly to Arioch, the captain of the guard who came to arrest them. He asked why the king made such a harsh choice so fast. Arioch explained the king's rage and the failed wise men who could not tell the dream. Daniel did not argue or run in fear like others might. Instead, he showed wisdom beyond his years. He requested one night to seek the answer from a higher power. Arioch saw hope in Daniel's steady eyes and agreed to take the message to Nebuchadnezzar. The king granted the time, though his patience grew thin. Lives hung in the balance, and the city buzzed with whispers of doom. Once alone, Daniel gathered his 3 friends in a quiet room. Their names were Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, though Babylon called them Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They knelt together on the hard floor, their knees pressing into the stone. Daniel led them in prayer, his voice steady but urgent. They asked the God of heaven to show mercy and reveal the secret. No human could solve this, only the one who knows all hidden things. The night stretched long, filled with earnest pleas rising like smoke. Daniel remembered how God had helped them before, choosing vegetables over royal food to stay pure. That choice made them stronger and wiser than all others. Now they needed more than strength. They needed a miracle. Hours passed with no sign, and doubt tried to creep in, but they held on, trusting the God who sees in the dark. Suddenly, in the dead of night, a vision came to Daniel. Bright light filled his mind, clear as day. He saw the dream exactly as the king had dreamed it. Every detail stood sharp: the tall statue, the metals, the stone. Joy flooded Daniel's heart like a river breaking free. He woke his friends with whispers of praise. God had answered, saving not just them, but many lives. Daniel blessed the God of heaven right there in the dark. He said, God changes times and seasons, removes kings and sets up kings. God gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to those who understand. He reveals deep and hidden things, knowing what lies in darkness. Light dwells with him, and now that light shone on the king's mystery. Daniel's praise echoed softly, full of wonder and thanks. The friends hugged each other, tears in their eyes from relief. They knew this was no small gift. It was divine power at work. Dawn approached, and the city would soon stir with the executioner's steps. Daniel prepared to face Arioch, confident now. The secret no longer hid, it waited to be told. Their faith had turned death into destiny. Arioch rushed Daniel to the palace, eager to please the king. He burst in, saying he found the one who could solve the riddle. Nebuchadnezzar looked up, his face still marked by fear and anger. Would this young exile succeed where others failed? Tension filled the grand hall, guards standing ready. All eyes turned to Daniel as he stepped forward. Daniel spoke first with respect, calming the stormy king. He said no wise man or magician could do this task. Only the God in heaven reveals mysteries. This God showed the king what will happen in future days. The dream came when the king lay on his bed, worried about what was to come. Now the answer would bring peace to his troubled mind. The king leaned forward, hanging on every word. Daniel paused for a breath, building the moment. He described the dream in perfect detail. A great image stood before the king, huge and terrible. Its head shone with pure gold, bright and royal. Chest and arms gleamed silver, strong but less pure. Belly and thighs were bronze, ready for battle across the earth. Legs of iron followed, mighty and unyielding. Feet mixed iron and clay, partly strong, partly weak. Then a stone cut from a mountain, not by hands, flew fast. It struck the feet hard, shattering the whole statue. All parts broke into small pieces like chaff on the summer floor. Wind blew them away until no trace remained. The stone grew into a great mountain that filled the whole earth. Daniel finished speaking, and silence fell heavy. The king's eyes widened. He knew every part matched his forgotten dream. Amazement washed over his face, replacing rage. This young man spoke truth from heaven itself. The hall held its breath, waiting for more. Nebuchadnezzar jumped up, his voice shaking with awe. He praised Daniel's God as God of gods and Lord of kings. Never had any man revealed a secret like this. The king honored Daniel with gifts and high position. Wise men across Babylon breathed free that day, but Daniel pointed always to God, not himself. Word spread fast through the palace and streets. A young exile saved the day with heaven's help. People wondered about this God who knows dreams. Daniel's friends watched from afar, hearts full. Their prayer changed everything. The stage set for deeper truths to unfold. Yet Daniel knew the dream held more than rescue. It spoke of kingdoms rising and falling through time, gold to stone, power to dust, then eternal reign. The king felt it too, a chill of future shadows. What did it all mean for his mighty empire? Questions burned, ready for the next revelation. Daniel stood before the king, his voice calm and clear in the tense hall. He began to paint the picture of the dream with simple words. "You looked, O king, and saw a great image," he said. This image was huge, tall as a mountain, shining with a terrible brightness. It stood right before you, filling your eyes with fear. No man made it. It appeared in your night vision, strong and real. The head of this image shone with fine gold, pure and royal. It caught the light like the sun on a crown. Below the head came the chest and arms made of silver, bright but not as pure. The silver gleamed cold, strong yet softer than gold. Then the belly and thighs appeared in bronze, hard and ready for war. Each part told a story of power changing hands through time. Daniel paused, letting the king see it all in his mind again. The legs came next, thick and mighty, forged from iron. Iron does not bend easy, it crushes what stands in its way. These legs looked unbreakable, dark and heavy. Feet followed at the bottom, part iron and part clay. This mix made them weak, unable to hold firm together. The king nodded, his face pale as memory rushed back. While you watched this statue, a stone flew from a mountain. No human hand cut this stone, it came alive by itself. Fast and sure, it hit the feet with a mighty crash. The iron and clay broke first, crumbling like dry dirt. Then the legs of iron shook and split apart. Up it went, bronze thighs shattering, silver chest falling in pieces. The gold head toppled last, breaking into tiny bits. All the statue turned to dust, fine as chaff on a summer floor. A wind blew strong, sweeping every trace away. Nothing remained, no sign of its past glory. The king gripped his throne, breath caught in his throat. Daniel's words matched every forgotten detail perfectly. But the stone did not stop there, it grew before your eyes. Bigger it became, into a huge mountain touching the sky. This mountain filled the whole earth, standing forever. No end to it, no power to break it down. Daniel finished, and silence hung heavy in the air. The king's eyes burned with wonder and a touch of fear. "Think about this, O king," Daniel said softly, breaking the quiet. "Your dream came from God to show future days. Men of earth build empires like that statue, bright at first. Gold shines for a time, then fades to silver below. Each part weaker, yet still ruling wide lands. History waits in this vision, clear as day." Nebuchadnezzar leaned forward, hungry for more truth. He saw his own face in that golden head, proud and strong. Babylon stood at its peak, walls high, gardens hanging green. Armies marched under his banner, conquering far. Yet the dream whispered of change coming slow. What power could topple such might, he wondered. Daniel watched the king's face change from rage to awe. This young man spoke with power not his own. Wise men failed, but faith unlocked the door. The hall buzzed soft now, guards whispering low. Hope returned to those once doomed to die. God moved in shadows, revealing what men hide. The statue stood not just in dream, but in time itself. Gold head ruled first, full of splendor and might. Silver followed, great, but not as grand. Bronze brought speed and conquest across seas. Iron crushed hard, no mercy in its rule. Clay mixed in, bringing cracks no king could mend. Imagine standing at its base, looking up in dread. The metals gleamed, each telling a tale of rise and fall. Wind howled around it, hinting at the end. Then the stone strikes, silent but sure. Empires built by hands turn to nothing fast. Only the mountain lasts, born from heaven's hand. Daniel spoke truth that shook the mighty king. No magician or star reader saw this deep. Only God in heaven knows secrets of night. He shows kings their place in endless time. Nebuchadnezzar felt small, yet chosen for this. His heart raced with questions burning bright. "What does it mean for me?" he asked at last. Daniel smiled gentle, ready for the next part. "The dream holds your kingdom, O mighty one. Gold fits you perfect, head of all earth, but others come after one by one. Listen close, for God speaks clear today." The court held breath, waiting for wisdom to flow. Daniel's friends stood near, eyes full of pride. They prayed this through, now truth breaks free. Babylon's glory lit the ancient world. Rivers turned, cities built on dreams like this. Yet even gold yields to time's slow hand? Visualize the statue now, parts shining different. Head gleams warm, inviting touch almost. Silver cools it down, arms reaching wide. Bronze warms again, thighs strong for march. Iron chills deep, legs planted firm. Feet wobble slight, clay pulling iron weak. This image scared you deep, O king, because truth hurts. It shows your rule ends, though great it be. Nightmares warn of what hearts fear most. Change comes unasked, sweeping old away. But hope hides in the stone that grows. God's plan stands sure when man's falls down. Nebuchadnezzar rose slow, face changed forever. He saw beyond his throne to ages ahead. Daniel bowed low, giving glory to God. The young exile rose high in king's sight. Wise men watched, learning faith's true power. The dream lived now, ready for meaning deep. Echoes filled the hall as words sank in slow. Statues' form burned bright in every mind. Gold to clay, then stone takes all. Empires come and go like seasons turn. Only heaven's mountain claims the land. Daniel prepared to name each part with care. Feel the weight of this vision, heavy as iron legs. It pressed on the king like unseen chains. His mind raced back to the night of terror. Now light came chasing dark away. Questions piled high, demanding answers soon. The story built tension, pulling all near. What king would not tremble at such sight? Power he held seemed small in dreams' light. Armies and gold could not stop the stone. Wind scatters pride like dust in breeze. Daniel stood firm, bridge from fear to hope. His words promised more than just the shape. Daniel looked straight at the king with steady eyes full of truth. "Now I will tell you what the dream means," he said clearly. "You, O king, are the head of gold, the brightest part. Your kingdom stands strong and rules the whole earth. God gave you power like no other before. No one questions your might or your shining rule. Babylon rose under your hand, walls high as mountains tall. Hanging gardens pleased your eyes, wonders of the world they called. Armies marched fast at your word, conquering lands far and wide. Gold fits you perfect, pure, and unmatched in glory. Rivers changed course to fill your city grand. Your name echoes through time as the first great power." But even gold kingdoms do not last forever. Daniel warned soft. "Another comes after you, chest and arms of silver bright. This next kingdom rises when yours fades away. It will rule wide, but not as strong or pure as yours. Silver shines cold, less value in its gleam. Change comes slow, like night chasing day." The king leaned back, his face a mix of pride and shadow. He saw himself in gold, yes, but what of silver below? Army strong, yet one day another takes the throne. History whispers of shifts no man controls full. Daniel spoke calm, letting truth sink deep in heart. Questions burned hot in the mighty ruler's mind. Think of your city now, full of life and wealth untold. Markets buzz with traders from east and west lands. Temples rise high, smoke curling to false gods. Your throne sits firm, advisors at your side close. But the dream shows more kingdoms in line to come. Gold starts the chain, silver follows in turn. This silver kingdom grew from Medes and Persians strong. They fought fierce battles, arrows dark as night sky. Cyrus led them wise, toppling your gates at last. Babylon fell quiet that night, rivers ran red slow. Their rule spread vast from sea to shining sea, yet silver bends easier, not as hard as gold pure. Nebuchadnezzar gripped his chair, memories flashing quick. He built this empire with blood and endless toil. Wars won hard, cities burned to ash below. Now another waits, hungry for the crown high. Daniel nodded gentle, seeing the fear rise slow. Truth hurts deep, but God speaks clear through dreams. Your gold head rules now, greatest on earth it stands. Silver chest beats next, great but second in shine. Empires shift like sand under waves that roll. No king holds time, it slips through fingers tight. The statue shows the path clear before your eyes. Listen close, O king, to words from heaven sent. Feel the weight of years in that golden crown heavy. You conquered Judah, took young men like Daniel far. Temples looted, treasures piled in vaults deep. Pride swelled your heart, mighty among all men. But God sees end from start, kingdoms rise and fall. Silver waits patient, ready to claim its turn. Daniel paused short, letting silence fill the hall wide. Guards stood still, wise men breathed free at last. The king's eyes searched the young man's face for more. Babylon's glory lit fires in ancient nights. Ziggurats touched clouds, people bowed in awe deep. Yet the dream promised change no wall could stop. Medo-Persia came with horsemen swift and bold. They tricked your river gates, slipped in like ghosts pale. Belshazzar feasted wild, saw hands right on wall. That night your line ended, silver took the throne firm. Their kings ruled long, laws carved in stone hard. Empires linked tight, one after other in line. What does this mean for you now, great king of gold? Your power vast, but time marches on without pause. Armies drill below, ready for wars unseen. Daniel brings hope mixed with warning sharp. God rules all kings, sets them up, or pulls down low. Silver gleams next, history turns page slow. The court whispered low, words spreading like fire quick. A young exile named empires yet to rise tall. Nebuchadnezzar felt small in dreams' vast light. Gold suited him true, but end loomed in sight faint. He honored Daniel high, gifts piled at his feet. Truth won the day, faith stronger than sword keen. Picture the statue whole, gold top shining proud. Silver below holds it up, strong in its own right. Bronze waits hungry further down the line long. Iron crushes next, no mercy in its grip cold. Clay mixes last, weakness cracks the base wide. Each part tells tale of power's rise and slide. You built wonders, O king, that men still speak today. Gardens hung green, fed by waters lifted high. Lions paced your zoo, gifts from lands you took. Feasts filled halls with laughter loud and wine free. But dreams from God cut deeper than stone blade. They show your place in endless chain of rule. Silver kingdom taxed heavy, roads stretched far wide. Messengers rode fast on royal paths straight. Satraps ruled lands under great kings' hand firm. Their gold came from your vaults, melted down new. Empires borrow strength, build on ruins left. History links tight, no break in the flow. Daniel stood tall, voice carrying power divine. No fear touched him now. God held the words true. The king watched close, heart stirring deep inside. Gold meant his now, peak of worldly might grand. Silver hinted trouble, change on horizon dim. night's terror turned wisdom, light chasing dark. What king hears future mapped so clear and bold? Rage cooled to wonder, awe filled throne room vast. Wise men bowed low, lives spared by heaven's grace. Daniel pointed up, glory to God alone. Babylon pulsed alive outside walls thick, but dream's shadow fell long across golden age. Years later proved words right, silver conquered true. Persians danced in streets of your fallen town. Cyrus freed captives, turned hate to peace slow. God's hand moved quiet through kings of earth. Gold faded soft, silver took bright stage next. The statue lived on in minds that pondered deep. Nebuchadnezzar dreamed of more than his own reign short. He saw a stream of powers flowing through time vast. Daniel unlocked door no man could open wide. Faith bridged heaven to earth in tense hall. Hope sparked faint in king's troubled soul deep. More waited still, bronze and iron ahead. Daniel continued explaining the meaning of the statue to the king, his voice steady and sure. After the golden head, silver chest, and bronze belly come the legs of iron. These legs represent a kingdom strong and harsh, one that crushes all in its path. Iron is tough and cold, breaking and grinding down what stands before it. It is a kingdom of power and control, working with force and solid grip. The king listened closely as Daniel spoke. This iron kingdom will rule with great strength. No one will stand against it easily. It will break and crush other kingdoms as an iron tool crushes metal. Its power will be feared and respected, its rule stretching wide over many lands. But there is more to this vision that troubles the king deeply. At the bottom of the statue are feet made of iron mixed with clay. This strange mixture shows weakness hidden in strength. Iron and clay do not bind well together. They crack and break under pressure. The feet stand for a divided kingdom, one made of different parts that do not hold firmly. It seems strong outwardly, but is unstable and likely to fall apart. Daniel explained how this kingdom of feet is unlike the others. It is partly strong, partly weak, like iron mixed with brittle clay. It will be a kingdom of nations, some strong, some weak, trying to work together but unable to fully unite. This shaking and breaking at the base reveals dangers not seen in the great statue's height. It warns of struggles and divisions coming to power. The vision of iron legs and broken feet reminded Nebuchadnezzar of future empires, growing after his own. History would show how great empires like Rome rose with iron force, crushing opponents and expanding borders fiercely. These powerful kingdoms ruled large areas with strict control. Yet, in time, their strength mixed with weakness as internal conflicts and divisions took hold, just like the feet in the dream. The king's face showed concern as Daniel unfolded more of the revelation. He felt the weight of the future pressing on him. This was not just about Babylon or the Medo-Persian Empire or Greece. It was about empires to come, strong and mighty but flawed, destined to struggle with unity. The dream revealed a past, present, and future told all at once. It left the king with questions deeper than fear. Daniel's words held power and clarity, a message coming straight from God's wisdom. The legs of iron showed the harsh reality of empires built on force alone. The feet of iron mixed with clay spoke of unstable alliances, short-lived peace, and fragile kingdoms. These images warned the king that power is not enough to last forever. Even the strongest fall when they lack true unity. The court was silent as the king digested these truths. Daniel had unlocked a vision showing the rise and fall of world powers. From the gold of Babylon to fragile feet, the statue was a story carved in metals. The dream showed history mapped before their eyes, from the greatest glory to the broken parts. All awaited what came next, the stone on the statue's feet. This stone, not cut by human hands, would strike the statue's feet with unstoppable force. It would shatter the iron and clay, breaking the foundation of many kingdoms. What followed surprised the king most. The stone grew into a mountain filling the whole earth, a kingdom established by God that would never be destroyed. This kingdom would stand forever, unlike any ruled by men. Nebuchadnezzar realized the dream was not just about his reign, but the entire course of human history and kingdom power. It told of strong kingdoms rising and falling, each with its time to rule. Yet the final kingdom, God's kingdom, would overcome all. This hopeful message seemed distant and yet near at once. The king felt awe and humility before the vision given. Daniel's interpretation showed the rise of human kingdoms marked by glory and strength, but also weakness and division. They all end, but God's kingdom is eternal. The stone represents a divine power that will one day destroy all earthly empires and fill the earth with peace. Though men build their kingdoms with force, God's kingdom stands on unshakable foundations of justice and truth. Finally, Daniel bowed low, thanking God for revealing these secrets to him. He praised God for giving wisdom to humans, for controlling history and kingdoms. He reminded Nebuchadnezzar that all power ultimately comes from God, who raises and removes kings according to his will. This truth humbled the proud king. The vision of iron legs and broken feet has echoed through history since that day. Great empires like Rome with iron strength rose to power, but eventually fractured. Modern nations reflect the theme of stability mixed with weakness, divided alliances, and complex politics. Daniel's dream remains as relevant as ever, pointing to human history's unfolding story and the coming eternal kingdom. Imagine the statue now standing tall but fragile at the feet. The iron legs represent great strength and harsh rule. The feet, a mix of iron and clay, show instability and division. The stone strikes hard, breaking the feet, the legs, and finally toppling the whole statue. Then the mountain kingdom grows, peaceful and everlasting. This chapter warns us that no human empire lasts forever. Strength without unity crumbles. Division weakens even the mightiest. But hope remains in the kingdom that God will set up, a kingdom that will never be destroyed. It is a kingdom beyond human hands, reaching to fill the whole earth with peace and justice. This is the promise at the heart of Daniel's dream, bringing comfort and hope to all who hear its message. Daniel finished describing the statue and turned to the most powerful part of the dream. While you watched, O king, a stone came from a mountain high. No human hand cut this stone. It broke free by itself. It flew fast and struck the feet of iron and clay hard. The whole statue shook from top to bottom then. Gold head, silver chest, bronze belly, iron legs all broke into small pieces. Those pieces turned to dust like chaff on a summer floor dry. Wind blew strong and carried every bit away quick. No trace left of the mighty image that stood tall. Nothing remained of kingdoms that ruled the earth wide. The king felt a chill run down his back cold. Daniel's words painted the end so clear and sure. But the stone did not stop or disappear after the crash. It grew bigger and bigger right before your eyes. First a small rock, then a mountain touching the sky. This mountain spread out and filled the whole earth complete. No end to it, no power could break it down. It stood forever, strong and unshakable always. This stone means a kingdom set up by God himself, Daniel explained, calm. In the days of those divided feet, God will build his rule. This kingdom will never be destroyed or given to others. It crushes all other kingdoms like the statue fell. Men build empires with hands and swords sharp, but God's kingdom comes from heaven pure and true. Nebuchadnezzar sat still, his mighty heart pounding fast. He ruled the world now in gold splendor bright, yet this dream showed his end, and all after him too. Armies strong, walls high, treasures vast would turn to dust. A stone from God would sweep them all away clean. What king could stand against such power divine? Daniel spoke with eyes full of hope and light warm. The great God showed you what happens in future days. Your dream is true, and its meaning stands firm sure. No wise man or magician could tell this secret deep. Only God reveals mysteries hidden in night dark. Praise to him who knows all from start to end long. The king jumped up from his throne in awe deep. He fell on his face before Daniel, voice shaking soft. Your God is God of gods and Lord of all kings great. He reveals deep things and knows what hides in dark. Light lives with him, chasing shadows far away. Never before did man show a dream like this true. Nebuchadnezzar honored Daniel with gifts rich and high place. He made him ruler over half the kingdom vast. Wise men lived free thanks to faith strong and prayer true. The court buzzed with wonder at words from heaven sent. Babylon pulsed alive outside with markets full, but the dream changed the king's heart forever deep. Think of history now, proving Daniel's words right step by step. Babylon fell to silver Medo-Persia as dream foretold clear. Then Greece, with bronze speed, conquered lands far wide. Rome came with iron legs, crushing all in path hard. Empires rose grand, but cracked at feet, divided weak. Each matched the statue perfect, one after other sure. Today we see the feet still, nations mixed and pulled apart. Strong powers ally loose, breaking under weight heavy. Wars rage on, leaders promise peace that fails fast. Division grows like clay in iron, no hold tight. The world waits tense for the stone to strike true. God's kingdom draws near, hope for hearts tired long. What does this mean for you listening now, friend close? Empires come and go, but God's rule lasts always. Men chase power, build towers to sky high, yet wind blows them down like chaff light and gone. The rock reminds us to trust in what stands firm. Heaven's mountain calls all to peace, everlasting sweet. Daniel's vision maps time from gold age to end final. Each metal shines, then fades, story written clear. No king escapes the dream's long-reaching hand. Nebuchadnezzar learned humble before God Most High. His pride bent low, glory given where due right. Faith unlocked doors no sword could open wide. Picture the stone rolling down, unstoppable force pure. It hits the weak feet first where cracks hide deep. Shatter spreads up fast, bronze bends, silver cracks. Gold crumbles last, pride turns to nothing quick. Wind cleans the ground bare, ready for new growth. Mountain rises slow, filling earth with justice true. This kingdom of God brings joy to broken world weary. No more tears or pain under human rule flawed. Kings of earth fade, but God's throne stands forever. Jesus came first as cornerstone rejected then. He builds his church on rock that wind cannot shake. One day he returns to claim what is his own full. Nebuchadnezzar changed that day, praising God aloud. He saw beyond his crown to endless reign above. Daniel served wise, pointing always to the one true. Friends stood faithful through fire and lion's mouth deep. Their story lives on, teaching trust in dark times hard. Prayer turns death to life, fear to bold stand. You feel it too, the pull of that eternal mountain grand. World spins wild with news of wars and kingdoms fall, but hope burns bright in Daniel's ancient dream old. The rock comes sure, smashing chains that bind tight. Freedom waits in God's kingdom of light pure. Listen close, for time draws near to see it all. History whispers soft of Rome's split east and west far. Barbarians crashed gates, dark ages followed long. Nations rose mixed, strong and weak in tangled dance. Modern powers echo feet, alliances break easy. Yet the stone grows near, promise kept from long ago. God's word stands firm when all else turns to dust fine. Daniel bowed low at end, mission complete and true. King promoted him high, but glory went to God alone. The hall emptied slow, words echoing in minds deep. Babylon shone bright that night under stars clear, but dream's shadow fell long over gold throne proud. Future kingdoms waited, stone ready to roll free. What a story, friend, of power humbled and hope raised. Empires boast loud, but God laughs last gentle. The rock that fills earth calls you home to peace sure. Trust in him who cuts stone from mountain high. No hand of man, but power divine breaks chains. This is the end of the dream, victory forever won.